Hello everybody, we're going to do something a little different today. I've seen a lot of videos and other stuff out there on the perfect zombie survival weapons. Now, I'm sure a lot of people don't take this seriously, and you shouldn't, but it's a lot of fun. It's a heck of a lot of fun, and I'm not sure about women, but most guys find zombie movies mostly hilarious, a lot of fun, and for some reason we like to think about them and think of how we can survive them. So that's the purpose of this particular excerpt. Now, we're going to go ahead and start with the most basic things that you would need for zombie survival. Sure, somebody like myself or another outdoorsman or operator or anybody like that would probably have a pocket knife on them or something like that. That's a really bad choice as a zombie weapon. Just putting that out there. It's not big enough to decapitate them. You're not going to be able to stab them enough to disable them. The knife is only useful if you're going to kill yourself instead of getting eaten by a zombie. So, pocket knives are out of the question entirely. The smallest knife that would be useful would be a survival knife like this. Not so much to take out the zombies, but it's a light survival knife. You can make spears with it. Spears are effective against zombies because you can get them from a distance. You could make arrows if you made a bow or something nonsensical like that. A bow is not especially good unless you get a headshot. Of course, we'll get into that later. This is a non-slip rubber grip survival knife made by Kershaw. I believe it is discontinued, but you might be able to find some out there. Very good choice. Now, of course, everybody knows you want to take out a zombie, the machete is the ideal tool. This is a fairly small one, and it's kukri style. It kind of resembles a real machete, the Bolo machete, but this is a cold steel kukri machete, and it has this round area here, making it ideal for chopping meat. Well, without sounding too graphically violent or gory, it's great for chopping up meat. Decapitating zombies, limbs, whatever. And it doesn't come in a particularly good sheath, but I guess it keeps you from getting stabbed by it. So, yahoo. You can get those for $20-30. The next tier is going to be easily accessible firearms. If you're somehow in a big city and you're not allowed to have firearms, I feel sorry for you. You're going to get eaten by zombies. But anyways, or a country that doesn't allow firearms, you better find some. Anyways, gives you the ability to kill a zombie from a distance, i.e. not being chewed on while you're attacking it, which is ingenious because then you don't become a zombie yourself. Anyways, the first tier of these are going to be the sub-miniature rounds. Sub-miniature rounds are pretty much the smallest stuff you can get. This is a .22 long rifle. It represents pretty much the smallest little backup extra gun you could possibly get. Now, most people would laugh at this as a personal defense weapon of any kind and say, oh, well, that's not going to do anything on a zombie. No, if you shoot it in the body, it's not. But neither is anything else you shoot it in the body with. The zombies are already dead. You can't shoot them in the heart, you can't shoot them in the lungs, it doesn't do any good. You got to shoot them in the head. And a .22 is exceptionally accurate, much more accurate than any other kind of handgun. So, with any of the .22 caliber pistols, you have a backup weapon that's effective up to about 50 yards, and you could do headshots on a zombie with it. That would be highly effective. It also uses a very light ammunition, which you could carry lots of, and you get better range than you would from a regular handgun. The next tier up from that, I guess, some people would say a .25 automatic, a .32 ACP, a .380. Really, a sub-miniature is a sub-miniature. It's a small, ineffective round. You might as well just go with the most accurate one. And the one you can carry the most ammo for, which is the .22 every single way. But whatever. Any sub-miniature is fine, if you can carry the ammo. Personally, I would say with the .22 you'd want to have as much ammo as you could carry. Probably 500 rounds. Maybe 1,000. 500 rounds of .22 ammo is not very heavy. And it's not overly expensive either. Make sure you get something that feeds good so that you have a better chance of survival. Okay. The other reason we're going to use .22s, and we'll show you later, is we have a Zombie Smasher. It is the ideal anti-zombie carbine, and we'll show you that later. Then we go up to the service pistol. There's going to be even more arguments about the service pistol or whatever the main sidearm somebody might use in a zombie apocalypse. Now, a 9mm, 38 Special, 357 SIG, all of these are going to be a very fast-moving and small impacting bullet. So, if you shoot them in the head, fine. If you don't, you're wasting your time and ammo. The 45 Auto makes a little bit bigger hole. It holds less ammo and it has more recoil than some, but it makes a bigger hole. It's going to do more damage. Personally, I would go with the 45. If you aren't especially good with guns, you probably don't know what to choose anyways, but the 45 Auto is more powerful. And it's a better choice if you come up against super zombies. Now, if you've ever seen anything like Resident Evil or any of the Left 4 Dead games, you'll see that there are different tiers of zombies as well. They're not all just going, brains. There's other kinds of zombies. Now, if you go up against one of those super zombies with a 9mm, you're most likely going to be dog food, or super zombie food. A more powerful weapon is a better choice. Plus, it's still pretty accurate, and the bullets do more damage, so it's a more effective headshot. Not sure how good of a headshot you need on a zombie in the first place. Haven't had any actual testing on it, but this is what I would choose. This is a Springfield XD. It's a highly reliable gun. It shoots a powerful round. They make them in smaller calibers if you need, but that's the one I would recommend. 45 Auto. Now, the ammo is heavy. The gun is a little bit heavier than, say, if you got a block, but otherwise it's not too heavy. It's a little heavier than your backup or your Tier 1 sub-miniature gun. This is probably all of the arsenal that your average person would be able to have. Obviously, the absolute best zombie gun has always been perceived as the 12-gauge shotgun. The 12-gauge shotgun is going to do so much physical damage to the zombie, it's going to be like hitting it with a machete. You're going to do all this damage and knock its limbs off and maybe its head and knock it over and all that other fun stuff. That's what's seen in the video games and the movies and all that. So we'll go ahead and put that out there. Shotguns are heavy. The ammo is extremely heavy. You can carry a lot less ammo for it. They are high recoiling. Most people can't properly use them, by the way. I suppose an inaccurate shotgun blast is a lot better than a mediocrely accurate 22 shot, but not that much. If you don't hit your target, you're still dead. Other people would think assault rifles, submachine guns, stuff like that. If you got one that shoots full auto, that's great, sure. If you got one that shoots semi-automatic, not so much. The only thing you're going to be able to do is pretty much use it as a rifle anyways. So you're going to be shooting headshots, and your assault rifle is going to shoot small, ineffective rounds. So you might as well just shoot 22s. You can get more ammo, it's more accessible, and it's more effective on zombies, or let's say living tissue, whatever. Assault rifle rounds are designed to go through armor and do other mystical things that they don't do, and the zombies are going to laugh at you as they eat you because you shot them with a, let's say, 5.56 round. The minimum caliber rifle round, other than a sub-miniature, I would recommend on a zombie would be 7.62 by 39, the Russian round. 30-30 would also be tolerable, but is only found in weapons that are not especially effective, like lever-action rifles, per se. They're okay, but they only hold so much ammo. Then you go over to the 44 Magnum. 44 Magnum obviously is going to do ridiculous amounts of damage over a half-inch or so area. And the exit wound's going to be about 3/4 of an inch. It could be bigger, it could be smaller. They do a lot of damage. That would be great for the super zombies. Not so important on the regular zombies. Regular zombies, it's going to blow right through. And if you get a headshot, sure, it's fine. But otherwise, it's basically you're carrying a bigger, heavier gun that's more difficult to use, and you probably aren't going to be good enough to use it in the first place. They say about 60 or 70% of experienced firearm users don't use the 44 Magnum properly. So, we'll go to what is basically the best averagely accessible rifle or carbine that you could use on zombies. Assuming you don't go with the assault rifle cartridges, you go with a .22 rifle. I just happen to have one of the Ultimate Zombie Smashers right here. This one has been heavily modified to be a lot better for close quarters, and it folds out to full size. Sometimes. Stuck there. But, yeah, when you're not sitting down, it works better. We've got all kinds of accessories we can mount on this thing. It's great for entry because you got the flashlight. You could put a laser sight on it. You could put a scope on it for long-range shooting. More precision. You could mount a bayonet on it. Then it's a melee weapon and a gun at the same time. It's also a highly reliable gun. I'll let you try to figure out what it is. I'm sure that you can. And for extra points, try to figure out what gun it was originally modeled after. That's going to be really good. That pretty much wraps it up for Josh's... I guess we're going to have to call this all opinions, unfortunately, because there hasn't been a lot of research on zombie smashing and survival of zombies. Obviously, you're going to have to remember to have food and water, because you don't want to eat the zombies or each other. And you'll probably figure everything else out on the way. This was Josh with a hopefully entertaining and always hopefully informational suggestions for zombie survival. That's pretty much it.